If you've noticed that your body isn't quite keeping up like it used to, if your mornings feel heavier, your energy drains before noon, or intimacy becomes something you avoid not because you want to, but because your body just won't, responding this message is for you. Here's the truth most people miss. It's not always age that's holding you back. Often, it's something far more basic and far more fixable. You might be running low on 3 critical vitamins that fuel everything from blood flow to hormone production. I'm not talking about some expensive treatment or complicated routine. I'm talking about a natural reset right in your kitchen or supplement cabinet. Today, we're diving into the top 3 vitamins that every man over 60 should be paying attention to. These aren't trendy buzzwords, they're proven nutrients that help restore energy, circulation, and confidence where it counts. And stay with me because I'm also going to reveal the one mistake most men make with these vitamins that quietly cancels out their progress, and how to avoid it starting tonight. If you're ready to take back control without pills, fads, or frustration, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. For years, vitamin D was something we only associated with sunshine and strong bones. Doctors told us to get outside more or drink our milk, but they rarely mentioned what this powerful nutrient really means for a man over 60. And that's a shame, because vitamin D isn't just about bone health, it's one of the most crucial players in restoring circulation, energy, and yes, even your confidence in their bedroom. Let me tell you a quick story. A man named Paul came into my clinic a few years ago. He was 67, still sharp, well-spoken, loved his wife dearly, but something had changed. "Doc," he said, "I still want to be close to my wife, but it feels like my body just isn't listening anymore." That quiet sentence hit hard, because I've heard it hundreds of times before. Men who haven't lost their desire, but have lost their edge. And almost every time, when we ran his blood work, his vitamin D levels were way too low. What many don't realize is that vitamin D is directly responsible for helping your blood vessels relax and expand. It boosts nitric oxide production, a molecule that allows oxygen-rich blood to flow through your body with ease. And when that circulation slows down, so does everything else. Energy, motivation, and the ability to respond when it matters most. Over 40% of men over 60 are deficient in vitamin D and don't even know it, even if you eat well and try to stay active. Aging reduces the body's ability to synthesize this nutrient from sunlight. That means you could be doing all the right things and still be running on empty. Here's the good news. This is one of the easiest deficiencies to fix. Start small. Just 15 to 20 minutes of early morning sunlight without sunscreen can stimulate natural vitamin D production. Adding more foods like salmon, tuna, or fortified dairy products. And most importantly, consider supplementing with vitamin D3, the active form your body actually uses. I've seen men who could barely make it through a walk around the block completely transform, getting back their stamina, their focus, even their desire to be close to the people they love. And it wasn't from a magic pill. It was from giving their body something it had been quietly asking for all along. Because here's the truth, your body isn't broken, it's just underfueled. And when you restore what's missing, especially something as vital as vitamin D, you don't just get better circulation, you get back a piece of yourself. A piece that's grounded in vitality, presence, and strength. So if you've been feeling a little off lately, not quite yourself, not quite in your body, don't rush to blame age. Start by checking what your body might be quietly missing, because the first step back to feeling alive again might not be a drug, it might be a sunrise. You ever feel like your body is running on fumes even after a full night's sleep? Like you're eating well, doing all the right things, but somehow the spark just isn't there. Your brain feels foggy, your limbs heavy, and when it's time to be present with your wife, your family, even with yourself, you just don't have it in you. That's exactly what Robert, a 72-year-old retired firefighter, told me the first time he sat in my office. He looked solid, healthy from the outside, but his words revealed something deeper. Doc, I eat my meals, sleep 8 hours a night, but every day feels like I'm dragging a weight behind me. And when my wife reaches for me at night, I feel like I've let her down. What Robert didn't know, and what many men his age don't realize, is that this isn't about laziness. It's not about willpower. It's about vitamin B12, a nutrient your body depends on to turn food into real, usable energy. Vitamin B12 fuels the creation of red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your muscles, your brain, and yes, your reproductive system. Without it, everything slows, your stamina drops, your focus dulls, and you begin to feel disconnected from a man you used to be. Now, here's the catch. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food drops significantly. You might be eating eggs, meat, or dairy every day and still be dangerously low on B12 because your body simply isn't pulling it in like it used to. And that explains why so many older men feel tired, moody, or mentally checked out, even when their blood tests look normal. They're slowly running on empty and no one's told them why. But the solution is surprisingly simple. For some men, a daily methylcobalamin supplement, the active, absorbable form of B12, is enough to shift everything. For others, a quick injection from their doctor jumpstarts the process even faster. I've watched men go from falling asleep in front of the TV every afternoon to hiking with their grandkids, cracking jokes again, and rediscovering intimacy they thought was gone for good. This isn't magic, it's biology. And it's completely within your control. You see, B12 doesn't just energize your muscles, it wakes up your mind. It clears the fog. It brings color back into your days and clarity back into your decisions. But most of all, it gives you back that quiet sense of drive, that feeling that says, I'm not done yet. There's more of me to give. And if you've been feeling like life is just passing you by lately, like your present, but not really, then B12 might be the wake-up call your body's been waiting for. So, don't dismiss your tiredness as just getting older. Don't accept the fog as your new normal, because when your energy returns, so does your spirit. And that changes everything. Sometimes the biggest frustrations in life don't come from what you're doing wrong, but from everything you thought you were doing right. That was the case for James, a 70-year-old retired airline pilot who walked into my office looking confused and exhausted. Doc, he said, I eat clean, I exercise, I stay on top of my health, but I still feel like something's off. My energy is low, my drive is gone, and honestly, I just don't feel like myself anymore. James wasn't lazy. He wasn't neglecting his body. In fact, he was doing better than most men his age. But he was missing a key piece of the puzzle, one that most doctors overlook: vitamin E. Now, when most people hear vitamin E, they think of skin creams or maybe fertility. But this nutrient is far more than that. For men over 60, vitamin E is a critical line of defense, protecting the very systems that keep you feeling vital, masculine, and fully alive. You see, vitamin E is a natural antioxidant. That means it combats the silent inflammation and oxidative stress that build up as we age. This internal wear and tear isn't visible in the mirror, but it wreaks havoc on your blood vessels, hormones, and reproductive system. Think of it like this: as your blood vessels stiffen and inflammation builds, blood flow weakens, testosterone dips. Your system begins to slow gradually, but relentlessly. And before you even notice, you're waking up tired, feeling flat, and watching parts of your identity slip through your fingers. That's where vitamin E steps in. It keeps your blood vessels flexible, allowing blood to flow more freely, especially to the areas that define your man. That's what happened with Walter, a 68-year-old retired high school coach. He had always prided himself on staying active and sharp. When he first came to see me, he had already been taking vitamin D for a few years. Later, after feeling more tired than usual, he added vitamin B12 to his routine. Eventually, he started including vitamin E2 after learning how it impacted testosterone and blood flow. Each vitamin helped in its own way, but it wasn't until he began taking all three consistently and at the right doses that something powerful began to happen. Walter came into my office a few weeks later, practically glowing. "Doc," he grinned, "I don't know what you did, but it feels like I've got a new engine. That's not a fluke. That's what I call the vitality triangle, the synergy that happens when these three essential nutrients are working together." Let's break it down. Vitamin D boosts nitric oxide, opening blood vessels and improving circulation. Vitamin B12 helps build red blood cells, which carry oxygen through that improved circulation. Vitamin E protects the blood vessels from damage and supports the production of testosterone, fueling energy and drive. Separately, each vitamin addresses a piece of the puzzle, but together, they amplify one another's circulation, energy, and hormonal support, working in harmony to restore what age and stress slowly steal away. This is crucial because after 60, your body doesn't rebound like it used to. Nutrient absorption slows down, inflammation builds, recovery takes longer. One missing piece can throw off the whole system. But when you get the formula right, when you give your body these three essential allies, you might start to feel something remarkable. Like your body is remembering how it used to feel. Not younger, not reckless, but grounded, sharp, capable. You may notice waking up feeling refreshed, mental fog beginning to lift, more energy in your step, more patience in your diet, quiet return of confidence, the kind that shows up in the way you walk, speak, and connect with the people you love. This isn't about a miracle cure. It's about restoring biological balance, about giving your body what it needs to show up for your life fully and without apology. Walter wasn't an exception. I've seen the same shift in countless men who thought their best years were behind them, only to discover that they still had gas in the tank. They just needed the right fuel. So if you've tried one or two of these vitamins before and didn't feel a huge change, don't give up. The power isn't just in each piece, it's in putting the whole system back together. Because when your circulation flows, your energy rises, and your hormones balance, you don't just feel better, you feel like you again, and that is something no supplement label can capture. If you've ever walked into a pharmacy, stared at the endless wall of vitamins, and thought, "I'll just grab whatever looks good," you're not alone, and yet that single decision could be the reason your energy still lags, your focus remains foggy, and your body isn't responding the way it should. Let me tell you about Gerald, a 74-year-old retired accountant who came into my office carrying a plastic grocery bag full of supplements. He laid them out on my desk, at least a dozen bottles, and said, "Doc, I've been taking all of these for months, but nothing's changing. I still feel exhausted. I'm not sleeping well, and nothing's improving." Down there, I looked at the labels, and I wasn't surprised. Here's the truth that most men over 60 aren't told. Not all vitamins are created equal. Just because it says vitamin B12 or vitamin D on the bottle doesn't mean your body can actually use it. Most low-cost or generic supplements use synthetic, inactive forms that your aging body struggles to absorb or convert. Let's break these down. Many B12 supplements use cyanocobalamin, a cheap version your body has to convert before it becomes useful. But as you get older, your ability to make the conversion drops significantly. What you need is methylcobalamin in an active form that your body can absorb and use immediately. With vitamin D, the mistake is even more common. Vitamin D2 is cheaper and less effective than vitamin D3, which is the form your body naturally produces from sunlight. And with vitamin E, many products only offer synthetic tocopherols, lacking the full spectrum of compounds your body needs to protect testosterone and blood vessels. In short, if the form is wrong, the results won't come no matter how many pills you take. But that's not the only mistake. Inconsistency is just as dangerous, taking a supplement once or twice a week. When you remember, simply isn't enough. Your body thrives on rhythm, on consistent, daily support. Skipping doses or taking them at random times is like watering a plant once every 10 days and expecting it to bloom. When Gerald switched to higher quality forms and began taking them every morning, without fail the transformation was noticeable. Within a month, he was sleeping through the night, waking up energized. And he told me with a quiet smile, "I feel like a man again." That change didn't come from trying harder. It came from doing it right. So if you've been frustrated, if you've been doing everything right, but not seeing the results, ask yourself two questions. Am I using the right forms of vitamins? Am I taking them consistently as part of a daily routine? Because supplements aren't magic. They're tools, and just like any tool, they only work when they're used correctly. Your body isn't broken, it's just waiting for you to give it what it can actually use. And once you do, the results may surprise you. Most men I talk to are looking for complicated health fads or extreme diets. They're not trying to become bodybuilders or run marathons at 70. What they want is simple: to feel strong again, to have steady energy, better sleep, clearer focus, and the quiet confidence to show up fully for their life. That's why, when a man sits across from me and says, "Doc, just tell me what to do each day," I don't hand him a list of pills or a complicated fitness plan. I give him a rhythm, a daily vitality routine built around just a few powerful, consistent steps. Let me tell you about Frank, a 66-year-old former carpenter who came to me after months of feeling drained. He wasn't depressed, just worn down. He missed playing with his grandkids. He missed waking up with purpose. And more than anything, he missed feeling like himself. Here's what we built together, and you can follow these two. 1. Start your morning with water and B12 before anything else. Frank began each morning with a full glass of water to rehydrate his body after sleep. Then he took a methylcobalamin B12 supplement with a protein-rich breakfast, usually eggs, whole grain toast, and a bit of turkey sausage. That kick-started his energy and supported healthy red blood cell production, giving oxygen to his muscles and brain for the day ahead. 2. Soak in the morning sun for vitamin D right after breakfast. Frank would step outside for a 15-minute walk in the morning sun, even on cloudy days. That exposure helps stimulate natural vitamin D production, fueling circulation and testosterone. On days when sunlight was scarce, especially in winter, he took a vitamin D3 supplement with his first meal. 3. Get vitamin E through real food at lunchtime. Frank added a handful of almonds or sunflower seeds to his meal and used olive oil as a salad dressing or drizzle over cooked vegetables. These small tweaks delivered his daily dose of vitamin E, supporting testosterone, blood vessel health, and inflammation. You don't need to make massive changes. You just need to start small with sunlight, with a handful of almonds, with a single step after breakfast, and most importantly, with the belief that you are still worth showing up for. Aging doesn't mean fading. It means evolving into someone wiser, more intentional, more grounded. The real strength isn't in how fast you move, but in how fully you live. If this message spoke to you, let us know in the comments below what part hit home the most. And if you're ready for more guidance tailored to men over 60, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. Because this is just the beginning of your comeback story. And remember, you're not done yet. Your body still believes in you. Now it's time you stop believing in it too.